baby. It's direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis Podcast with your host, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunker chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis Podcast. Here with your host today, Chris Thayer,
Steve Hale, Mike Eastman,
and I'm Ron Milts. Well, here we are. It's Christmas time, and it's only can be one thing.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
yes.
guys. I'm. You know what's funny? I was sort of against having Star Wars at this time of the year when it first got changed, but now I kind of like it. It's like the Christmas gift that keeps on giving.
But now the way they're going to be doing movies, they're going to be cranking them out. We're going to have one in May. So we have a Christmas movie and we have a summer movie.
This will be the first time ever we've only had like the shortest amount of time possible between Star Wars movies,
right.
Unless you count Episode 3 and that terrible Clone Wars animated garbage that came out.
Ooh, that one was rough.
Well, I never saw it in theaters, dude.
Oh, I did.
I'm sorry.
I'd like my money back then.
I never even heard of this.
You never saw the Clone Wars?
I totally missed it.
It was another one of those where like I took like 12 people with me, and they were all like, "Steve, you fucking owe us, dude."
Well, I had to sit through the Comic-Con panel for that to get to Kevin Smith. This was years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there.
I was there. I know what you're talking about. It was but all that being said, and the terribleness of that, we are Last Jedi, guys. It has happened. It happened a week ago exactly. We've given everybody a week to see the movie, so now we can have our discussion about it and drop mad spoilers.
Yes.
So spoiler warning.
If you have not seen this, turn this off. Go see the movie, then come back and listen to us.
I absolutely positively can not say this with enough emphatic terms. Do not listen to this if you haven't seen the movie.
We are going to spoil every single scene.
I disagree. You can listen to this and then watch the movie. It's not going to change anything.
But here's the thing: you're getting ahead of yourself, Mike. You're getting ahead of yourself. But look, but to me, the twists in this movie are what make the movie watchable. Like without the twists, like the movie is just not. It's still good, but it's just not very. Like,
are there twists?
There are, and we'll get to it.
I think so.
There are quite a few.
Oh man,
I don't know about twists as much. Okay,
Of course there are.
It defies cliches.
It does defy cliches. Before we get too far into it, so we got to keep our round table status here. We're going to go around. I want initial thoughts. Like, did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Graded on a scale of 1 to 10. Don't tell me about like your favorite parts.
I didn't know there was math involved here.
It's like a grading scale. We'll just go around. So what we'll do is we'll start with Steve, and then we'll go counterclockwise.
I like the movie. I give it I'm going to give it a high 7, maybe a low 8.
Where would you? Well, we'll get to that later. We'll get to start to think about where you would put it in your pantheon of Star Wars films, all right? So high 7, low 8, all right? So Chris, how about you?
I'd say in the 8. Solid 8.
And you like the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike?
Absolutely.
I'd say a solid 7, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It's a good movie.
I'm in the solid 7.5 camp. And I enjoyed the film. And I've seen it twice at this point. Steve, you've seen it once. Chris, you're
Twice.
What?
Once.
Twice. You're once. So
I liked it a lot better the second time. Like there were things that I missed or didn't connect with in the first time through that got me the second time through.
I realized the second time watching it through, because I knew where it was going to end, the setup is actually pretty decent. Like they do a lot of good setup. Mm-hmm. Especially like the Luke Skywalker like final moment with literally when he's like, "What do you think I'm gonna do, Rey? Like run out and fight the First Order with my laser sword?"
Yeah. When he said laser sword, I was like, "That's awesome."
But which is so funny because it's like foreshadowing, But it's like there's a lot of great setup in the film. Okay, so we as a nobody in the room hates the movie.
No,
because there is some.
We're not petitioning to have it removed from canon.
Is anybody else dumbfounded by the fucking backlash online?
I'm completely dumbfounded by it, dude. I mean, like, and this is a minor one. Them referring to like porgs as like the little critters, which really had no big thing.
They're puffins
in it, right?
Yeah, no, they're nothing.
They were nothing. There was no fucking Jar Jar Binks.
They were not even the Ewok status. They were just
Ewoks
little
and shit. They had no they had no outcome. They didn't have some determining factor that changing the outcome of the movie or anything. I was just like, what are you guys tripping on? I mean, yeah, I know why Disney put it in there.
Well,
because automatically my 2 5-year-olds
We're in love.
fucking want them.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
they appeared on
mean,
screen with
it's
the price underneath
marketing,
them.
And I mean, Disney.
Right.
And for all those people out there who have Disney passes or etc., Disneyland is a retail location that they make you pay money to come into.
Right.
Yeah.
And
amen
you
to that.
do.
It's a mall with
Okay.
rides.
Yeah. I mean, it is. And everything in there is for sale, and everything is very overpriced. I mean, Disney said when they bought Lucasfilm that they felt that Star Wars had been undermarketed for 30 plus years.
Right.
This is a franchise that had never gone away.
No, not
And
really.
Disney felt it was undermarketed.
And
so
had-
yes, this
had
is
rewritten the book on how to market
Oh, yeah.
a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I mean,
think about all the toys that came out in the 70s.
but listening to people, just their anger towards like this little critter, it's like, come on, dude, you're kind of
Well,
retarded.
my thing with the porgs, and I'll just begin by saying that I think Chewbacca had the right idea because those little fuckers look delicious.
They do look
And
good.
It made for I kind of chuckled during the scene. I thought it was kind of
That was fantastic.
That was
And to
great.
me, look, I am a hater of Ewoks. Like, I do not like the Ewoks
I
particularly.
did not like the Ewoks when I was a kid in the
I
theater,
have no
dude.
problem with Jar Jar Binks. I just think he fails as a comedy device.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
think it's fine. And I also think if his voice was deeper, that people would not have been as grating.
Had they gone ahead,
Isaac Hayes, like, you said people gonna die.
had they gone ahead and taken a completely different alien and a completely different voice, it might have actually been good.
Oh, yeah.
A completely different character.
Yeah.
And maybe not call it Jar Jar Binks.
But I think that Lucas was doing exactly what Disney was doing, which I'm going to create a character that's specifically for kids.
Yeah.
Because my fucking 5-year-old, the minute Jar Jar Binks walks on screen, is doing belly laughs.
Right.
And I know your kids probably do the same exact thing.
Yep.
You know, and I think that goes down to exactly what all of these movies and what I felt coming off of this movie, which is these movies are not completely for me. Like, there's a part of them that's for me, just like there always has been, but they're just always been designed for the kids in that friggin' 5 to 12 range. Like, that's
Absolutely.
who their targets are.
Yeah.
You know, and
they're going to get your money anyway because they know you're a nerdy bastard and you're going to go. And you may complain, but they still got your goddamn money.
The idea is
You
to
know.
aim towards that demographic and then have it well told enough that adults can enjoy it as well.
Right.
Okay.
Sure. And
And they did.
Well,
in my opinion.
you know,
Yeah, I think so.
Without
and
question.
People always try to like hold, the 1977 film to a standard. And it's like, listen, man, this wasn't just some sci-fi movie. This was something special. Nobody had seen anything like this before.
Right.
This is groundbreaking. I remember when Empire Strikes Back came out, and even Return of the Jedi. I remember them having like, news specials on how they did the special effects of this.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. Now you don't hear any of that shit because none of this is a big deal anymore.
No.
There's nothing groundbreaking, and you're not gonna see anything groundbreaking. Those
Well,
days
there's-
are over.
yeah, but there's a reason we're not going to see anything groundbreaking, and that's because people that want to see puppets and relive that specific part of their youth don't want to see what could be visually interesting at the next level, because we haven't reached that point where we can get past the uncanny valley with our digital creations.
We've got awesome CGI. I mean, look at what they did with Tarkin and Leia
just thinking
in.
that.
I mean,
But think about how many people bitch about that.
I was honestly wowed by that. I
Yeah,
could not.
blown
I'm
away.
a huge Tarkin fan, so I thought that was really cool.
And then who are all these people that are butthurt about putting dead people in movies? They're fucking dead. They don't care.
Right.
Like,
Right.
as long as somebody's getting paid on it on the back end, like their grandchildren or some shit, like put all the dead people in it.
Yeah.
Like remake them, like show me a young Luke, Leia, and Han movie digitally like that. I'm in. Make it a cartoon. I don't give a fuck. Realistic cartoon. I just, it doesn't bother me. You know?
You were weirded out by the KFC commercials.
Which ones?
The one with the people playing Colonel Sanders.
Oh, I thought those were funny.
You know, the
You were
first
weirded
one
out
was
by
weird.
those?
The very first one was weird.
I thought it was funny how they
Don't
just
tell
kept
me
changing.
you were weirded out by someone playing Colonel Sanders.
That was weird because I was like, wait though, isn't he like the first one? They weren't playing him as had being dead. It was Daryl Hammond
Yeah.
doing a spot on impersonation, and I'm all, wait a minute, like, is he being the Colonel? Like, I'm confused by this. Like, it's different. It's just different.
Okay.
But
That's
like Peter Cushing, if he has anybody alive, there is a Peter Cushing
Estate.
estate.
that got paid on that.
There is still to this day a Lon Chaney estate that his great grandchildren, and I've met them at conventions.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, if there's these people are getting paid, their families are getting paid.
I think
for
as
using
long
their
as the
likeness,
family's okay
absolutely.
with it, that way you're not.
And what they can do now is really super cool. I mean, I got to admit, I've talked a lot about CGI. What they're doing right now is really cool.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that's interesting to me when watching this movie is, particularly from the last one to this one, is this one had way more digital effects in it than the last one. At least it felt like it. This one felt much more like any of the prequels than this one. And you know what? That we're going to get into that because I take great umbrage with you like unabashedly loving this movie online, yet you hate the prequels. And I would argue that this movie has all the problems that Attack of the Clones has completely.
Except for the acting.
And this one's, interesting to watch. So.
Oh, look,
It's the acting. Always has been the acting for me.
I will give you this: the dialogue in the on the Last Jedi. No, the dialogue in Last Jedi is better than the dialogue in Attack of the Clones, bar none. I would say the acting is all about the same.
Your
okay?
5-year-old retelling the dialogue of
No.
Last Jedi would be better
But the
than
story,
Attack of the Clones.
like if you're doing story comparisons, these new movies, the stories pale in comparison to the prequel stories. The prequel stories are interesting. They're different. They're fun to watch. They fucking make sense.
What's the plot of Attack of the Clones besides going to a clone planet and seeing scientists making?
We're not getting into an Attack of the Clones discussion right now,
but you just said
brought it up.
This story was better than Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Okay, first
It's a
off,
giant chase scene.
It's a remake of Speed in space, And by the way, space is three-dimensional.
That was a cool scene, man. When Boba was chasing Obi-Wan.
No.
through the asteroid.
I'm not talking about that.
Jedi.
I'm talking about Last Jedi. Literally, if you guys are ready, we can get into plot.
All right.
But my problem with this is this movie feels like finally one of the prequels where I'm like, there's more to the universe. Like we got to go to a casino planet for the first time ever.
Okay.
That did feel like it was out of the prequels, yes.
And you hated it. Like you hated every moment of that. I know.
It just felt cheap.
How?
Yeah, it was a little synthetic to me.
Yeah,
but that didn't bother me. I was just like, these people are all kind of fake. That made sense.
I'll tell you what, it didn't give me the feel of walking into the cantina or Jabba's palace.
Exactly.
Right.
But
Didn't have any grit reality.
But you know what? I like that scummy kind of stuff. So this is a little cleaned up, but
Dude,
it was still
Space Bellagio.
Yes, it was. The whole time I was like, I have been here,
Right.
and I've seen probably most of these people.
Right. I'm going, we're at the Space Bellagio. Completely at the Space Bellagio.
I think if they'd done something on that planet, I would have enjoyed it more, but it was just kind of an interesting backdrop for nothing to happen.
Well, that's anything involving Finn in this whole movie.
But I think that's most of this movie, the first hour of this movie, to be honest with you. And I think that's where we get into plot. My issue with this movie, and my biggest issue, is that it felt like I watched the third act that Force Awakens should have had, as opposed to a second complete movie. Because now, okay, we get into the timeline of these two movies. Like Rey and like Poe and Finn, it's been 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks over the course of two movies. Like,
Right.
This is the fastest amount of time we've ever spent in Star Wars. It's just like,
I mean, look, Finn is still in his,
Poe's jacket.
Well, the incubation tube.
Yeah.
Like
and it's like, unless it's like, well, he was in there for months on end, but it's like, that's not what it's playing. It's literally like right after the
No,
Force
because we pick up
or-
right with Rey and Luke on the island.
I just think if you get to Maz's place, and then you just ignore everything that like happened with Starkiller Base and just be like, that none of that happened, and then you basically pick up like right when Rey arrives at the ship, like that he's been taken to Snoke. I'm like, you have one fantastic movie. It's like all of these things coming together, like and figure out the Luke Skywalker thread later on. It's just like there's so much of this that I was like, to be completely honest, and especially the second time, I was kind of bored in the first hour. Like there was not a lot happening except the bomber run at the beginning was fun.
Yeah.
Look, I had an issue with the bombers.
You mean the fucking piss poor design on them?
Let's make the slowest fucking thing.
They are.
Defenseless.
In a universe or galaxy, whichever you'd like to call it, where things are just coming at you like boom, 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 boom. Let's make these really slow.
Furthermore, don't we live in a world with fucking missiles? Like,
Right.
like why do we need
Why do we have to
bomb things? And once again, we're in fucking space. Like, it's
The
not.
the bombs were magnetic. That's why they didn't float off.
And they couldn't
into
attach them
space.
to a smaller craft? Like have a bunch of smaller crafts go in and...
How about you each take one? Right?
It only took one bomber ship to blow up
Yeah.
the entire dreadnought.
Well, I mean, look, it's like with shit like that where I'm like, I'm dumbfounded by, and not only that, fuck.
Because originally in the original, I think they were called Y-wings.
Yeah, the Y-wings were our original bombers.
Were bombers, and these were like super Y-wings. Because when they first came out, you're like, oh,
They kind of look like the B-wings. Like if they had taken the B-wings and steroided them up. Because a B-wing was a bomber, the Return of the Jedi bomber.
Right.
But it's like this one, it was like, well, it can hold a shitload of bombs, but like the one got blown up and took out the entire
fleet.
squadron. You know, you're like, that's not the most effective ship. You know, so. But yeah, I mean,
how'd you like the humor in the beginning of that one, though?
oh, I love that he called him General Hugs. Like, I don't know if you guys caught that.
I didn't catch the
I didn't
hugs.
catch it the first time, but the second time he's all hugs. I'm looking for hugs.
I caught the your mama joke.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
There are a lot of people who really hated that the humor.
Well,
in
I can say I
this,
was
they
not afraid
really-
of General
Have they
Hux.
ever seen Star Wars: A New Hope?
Yeah,
It's got a
but
lot.
the whole
of little
movie is
different,
humor.
though.
But here's my thing.
Oh, okay.
But Poe is a character that humor works for him,
Right.
Because he did that with Kylo Ren in the last one. The problem I
How's
had.
this work?
Yeah,
I talk, you talk.
Yeah, I talk, you talk.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
you know.
nobody was bitching about that then. I
But to
don't
me,
remember.
that's totally in his character.
Exactly.
My problem is that every other person had that same sort of. It was like I watched Superbad the night before last, and everybody
Yes.
makes the same type of jokes in that movie.
right, yeah.
And that's what this is. Suddenly, it's like everybody's making. You know, Luke is making the same fucking type of joke. You know, where you're like, I don't like. You know that it was funny. I laughed, but it was like you could tell one person who's not the best writer on the planet wrote some of this.
Well, it's just like in I know
So-
the last one, The Force Awakens. People had a problem with the way Finn was talking to Phasma because it was like, yeah, in your face. Like it was a little bit modern the way he was like rubbing it in, and so people did have a problem with that colloquial.
Yeah.
You know,
It is meant to be a long time ago.
well, like the way Han did it in the episode 4 is a little bit different than how it came across in this one.
Yeah, but I was okay with Poe doing it, and I thought as an opening,
it worked for his character.
Okay, but let's talk about General Hux. Like we took a character that had potential to become somewhat cool in the last movie. You know, when he's giving his rousing Nazi speech, you're like, oh, I can get behind this guy as a bad guy. And then this movie, he became the comedic punching bag, where it was literally like, let's throw him into walls and into floors,
Right.
And it just like at a certain point, I'm like, I don't care about Hux anymore because he's a bitch. Like,
Yeah, but even at the end when, you know,
They did throw him around a lot.
well, but remember when they were on the attack at the end when he finally told him to stop, like
Right.
he bucked up, dude.
he did.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking
Well,
to somebody who could, you know.
And then
that's
there's
the
all
supreme-
this is where we get into like the Disney's bigger sort of like there's backstory with this character that they're talking about in the film that they don't mention at all,
Right.
Which is, you know, basically like you know, he was they're like, you know, he's a crazy one or something that they referred to him as, you know, and in the whatever
A mad dog.
books or whatever, like his dad got killed and then like this young general, because he was so like insane on the battlefield, took over, you know, and it's like you don't get any of that through the film, you know.
Yeah.
Well, who the hell is
And there-
Snoke? Do we even know anything about where Snoke?
Cyber Hugh Hefner.
But you know what? I loved that. I love that whole thing. I mean, people have been, you know, theorizing who he is for the last, year and a half?
2
Well,
years.
same thing
Yeah.
with Ray's parents.
And to go ahead and just be like, yeah, right?
Well, let's
And
talk.
it's-
Let's talk about that, Steve. So we have all these like surprise boxes, as they were, like setups for next movies that
Yeah.
that J.J. Abrams gave us.
Right.
And literally, Rian Johnson, or is it Ryan or Rian or
It's Ryan.
Ryan. It's like a fucking hipster spelling of his name.
Yeah, RIAN.
All right, so Ryan Johnson, basically like double middle finger to all your setup.
Right.
You were nobody.
Yeah, like,
the entire
we don't
movie
came
was
from
that.
nobody.
Like, let's destroy the past
I love
and move
that.
on from now.
And you know what? And that is what that line right there, dude.
Yeah.
It's time to destroy the past, dude.
Okay, cool. I'll back that with a but. It's time to, storytelling wise, destroy the past. But we're still gonna fly X-wings and A-wings and fucking Mon Calamari cruisers and Star Destroyers
And the
TIE
Empire looks the
fighters,
exact same
and
as the
Empire
First
dresses
Order.
the same.
Well, they were.
But you can't be like, the theme of our movie is letting go, but we're not gonna
We're
let go
letting
in any
go
of our
of some-
designs.
Now they have
Listen,
sloth
we're
walkers.
letting go of these fucking characters. Doesn't mean we have to fucking make. Look, they made the ships in fucking in Phantom Menace, and they looked fucking like crap. Okay, they looked like shit. That silver ship they were flying, that
Sure.
thing sucked ass.
But
man.
I still like the Naboo
little
starfighters.
yellow
I still
ones?
like
Yeah.
the fucking Jedi
The
starfighters.
Jedi ones were cool, but those were for Jedis.
But I like, look,
They tried
Because
something different.
only a Jedi was able to pilot those
cool.
things.
Like, well, that's true. But what I'm saying is like, I'm okay if you're willing to let go. If you're willing to fucking design some things that look like it
The
was.
AT-ATs were bigger.
Yeah, they were based on monkeys this time.
And they were
Steve.
knucklers.
Monkeys. They had little.
But they
walking
said
on
you're
their
gonna
knuckles.
fucking take some fucking 50-cent cable you got from motherfucking Home Depot
Not this time,
and
though.
destroy my multi-million-dollar walker.
They're like, not this time.
Fuck that. Or make it bigger.
How's this? We got more interesting ship design in Rogue One than we got in the fucking 2 movies that we've watched of this new trilogy.
Yeah, well, they
That
ended
was
up-
my problem with the last
but
one,
you
too.
know what? Hey, look.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Look, Ron, they just killed all those fucking ships. There's nothing left. So
Good.
Who the fuck what we're going to see next? I'm hoping Boba Fett's Slave One.
That would be great if we could get a whole fleet of them.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Actually, there was only 3.
Okay.
And I think Django destroyed 2 of them. The only one that exists is the Slave One.
that's bullshit.
So,
But
Is that still canon?
that is actually still
Okay.
canon, yes.
But do you see, like, my issue is, if you're gonna let go, then let go. Like introduce me, because look, Kylo Ren, his new starfighter was cool, but it was very much like, hey, you know, it's cool, Darth Vader's ship. Let's make a cooler version of Darth Vader's ship.
Well,
You know,
those little aesthetic things, I don't really care about. I thought was cool was like fucking Snoke, right? He is like fucking using the Force and fucking I'm gonna tear you apart. And I've foreseen all this, right? I've set this whole fucking thing up, and you're thinking, look at that, the Emperor again. And then what do? They cut that motherfucker in half. So we're not playing this master and apprentice crap anymore. We're done with that.
cool. Like
Done.
But,
Then have Rey join.
okay, but the entire movie. Okay, once again, this whole movie plays on all of your preconceived notions of what you think a Star Wars movie
Right.
is. So it takes points from. It's literally like, you know how it's like, I'm afraid it's going to be Empire. Okay, well, it wasn't. But it definitely
That
took
was my
elements.
biggest fear.
It took elements from Empire and Jedi, rearranged them, okay, and told like an interesting story. And every moment we got to that you thought you know what was going to happen, we went the opposite direction. Literally every moment, it was like the throne room scene from Jedi. Awesome, we're doing that. We did it. Like, oh, like we Kylo fucking turns on him. It's Vader, and then he gets to the end, and it's like, join me, let's rule the galaxy. And you're
Right.
like, unexpected. Great, you know.
Right.
And it was Casino
That fight
Planet.
was dope, though.
That fight was one of the best things to happen in these fucking 2 movies.
Laser
Like,
nunchucks.
that was badass, dude. Vibroblades are dope, dude. And finally seeing them get to use like on the big screen,
Yeah.
fantastic. We get to the Casino Planet and we meet DJ, you know, the stuttering character played by
Benicio
Benicio
del
Toro.
Who's on a roll these days.
Oh, and by the way, what kills me is that was the part written for Lando.
Really?
They wrote that for Lando, and then he was like, I don't think it would be out of character for Lando to do that. And I was like, to me, that's an interesting choice. Like, turn Lando into a bad guy for the last movie, right? Like,
He's still out for himself.
yeah, like at the end of the day, you're like, it's 30 years later, and Lando don't give a fuck about you. Like, he gives a fuck about Lando.
He's a hero of the rebellion, man.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah,
he
you
was
can't do
pulls
that
it
with
out
him.
at the end, man.
Yeah, he
In
did.
the end of, he's the one who fucking destroyed the fucking Death Star too.
But if we're gonna play this game where we deconstruct all of our heroes,
Yeah.
like why can't we deconstruct Lando?
It's been 30 years and he hasn't been getting paid. Being a hero doesn't pay well.
it's true.
Selling crap pays well.
This is true. So, but that was originally the part he wrote for Billy D. Williams, and then basically they were like, I don't think Lando would do that. But it's the Lando character, except the Lando character betrays you.
Right.
Although the Lando character does have the best line in the second best line in the movie for me, which is like, you know, they blow you up today, you blow them up tomorrow. It's no big deal, you know. And
Right.
he's like on his way.
It's all mechanics.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a scoundrel. I dig
Right.
that guy, you know.
Yeah, he sells weapons to you guys.
And I kept waiting for them to do the
Sells weapons to
reveal
them.
of like, oh, he's gonna have like the little red symbol where they like the Scarlet Pimpernel or whatever they were told to look for. They said look for some kind of red flower.
No, it was on the other
Yeah.
dude in the casino.
Yeah, but I kept waiting for it to be revealed. Like, oh, it's really him, but they didn't go that route.
No, which is fine.
Yeah, no, I was happy that they
Yeah.
didn't bump into the guy.
I thought like it was like the entire movie was a lot of zigs and we zag, you know, and it's like, oh, the plan's gonna work. It doesn't work. We get down to the surface. Luke's here to save the day. That is not what happens, you know. So it's a lot of like taking your expectations and playing against them, which to me is all the surprises and why the movie works.
And that's
like,
why I wanted Rey to join Kylo.
I thought I was kind of with you on that. To be honest with you, I kind of wanted to see.
If you
Rey.
want the Resistance to be the plucky guys who have no hope in the world, put 2 Jedis against them, or 2 Force, sensitive people against them, and it'd be a really, dynamic thing of how are they going to turn the tide on this.
No. Listen, the reason they're not doing it, they wouldn't do it, and it I know it made Chris's panties wet. They are making a strong female lead hero. Boom. There you go. Has nothing to do with. That's the whole reason that he's going to be the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Straight up.
I mean, I think they made that
He's going to
choice.
replace. I mean,
They made that choice last movie.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that was already this. We're just now following along, following
we're
it through.
reinforcing it. That's
Yeah.
why she's not going to fucking turn to the dark side.
Well, that's why she
It
can
would
come
have been.
back in
It
the
would have been a fucking like that. Would have been the whoa. It would have thrown it out the window for me because I've been like throwing my whole theory of their social justice warrior into my movie world theory out the window. But that's why they're fucking doing it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like once again, they made that decision last movie,
yeah.
and it's just like now you got to follow it through, you know?
Yeah.
So, but they did. I mean, they also set up a love triangle between Finn, Rose, and Rey.
Oh, I thought it was Poe.
Well, I mean, everybody wants to fuck everybody in these movies. Everybody be making like Poe lip biting at each other.
Poe fucking thought his jacket looked fucking tight on Finn doesn't mean necessarily he wants to fucking,
He's like,
It was a little awkward.
but like this movie, it was like you were like, ooh, Rey wants to fuck Kylo. Finn wants to fuck Rey, then Finn wants to fuck, it's like, you're like, good lord,
if we're talking
people.
about hard dicks, dude, I tell you what, dude, when I don't know about you guys, but when Luke was milking that thing, I don't know, dude, I was like, I have the strangest heart on right now, dude.
By the way, when he drank it and the little blue milk was on his lip, were you kind of like, he's the space dude.
I was hoping, right?
He's the space dude.
I'll be there, man.
He's like, man, it's just
the white
like
Russian
your opinion,
aliens.
man.
Right. Yeah, I was hoping he was going to go just right to the tip and just start sucking right off.
There's a version of it that they
montage.
did.
What was weird about it?
It didn't, like, I realized there was a montage right when it was ending. I'm like, oh, this is the montage of his daily life. Oh, we're done. Okay.
But that gave us like this great line of like, she's like, I've watched your daily, and you're not that busy. Like, you don't have a lot
Right.
going on,
I wanted some more moments, and I didn't, the little side Hobbit people that were taking care of him.
They were great.
That was funny. No, that was some funny stuff, man. When they got the cart, when they smashed the car, that was great.
I like humor in my Star Wars movies.
Oh, I do as well.
And I don't care if it's puns. I don't care if it's as long as it's not, Jar Jar Binks, then I think we can all agree.
I was happy to see the stations back in the movie after Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
The stations?
Yeah, the little station monsters.
What are you talking about?
Bill and Ted 2.
Okay.
I know you.
The 2 little guys who joined together make the big guy. That's what they
Jesus
looked like.
Christ, dude.
They were like stations and nun outfits.
I had the feel it was some sort of like Dark Crystal rejects or something. Along with they brought the porgs.
Look, I think the little people getting work is good.
I
Good on them, right?
I didn't really. They were inconsequential to me.
One of them had to have been Warwick Davis, by the way. One of them had to have been Warwick Davis.
Right, he's been in every one.
That
of
little
them,
prick. I love that guy, though.
Literally.
But yeah, I mean, look, I think for me, we're on the venture with Rey, Poe, and Finn. Like, they are Luke, Han, and Leia, and we're going to follow them to the bitter end. And BB-8 is R2-D2.
Yes.
And it's like, this is the story for the new realm, and it's like, whether or not I like where it's going is besides the point. I just, for me, I like we talked about before we started, Luke Skywalker is my hero. He's not like a hero. He's not like one of the best heroes. He is my hero. And watching this movie was like hard. And I think that's why people are having such a visceral response to it.
They're definitely like playing on your nostalgia, and they're doing exactly the opposite of what they did in Force Awakens when Han and Chewie showed up, and we're like, yes! Like, Luke shows up at the very beginning of the movie, and we're like, Luke kind of sucks. Why is Luke such a bitch?
I think my wife...
He's still whining like he did in the first movie.
I think my wife had the perfect reply to this. She literally like got done with this movie and looked at me. She goes, "Are any of these fucking people allowed to be happy?" And I was like, "No, apparently not." You know, and I think like the more we watch these films, I'm just going along with what Steve said on his Facebook thing. Was these movies are not for me anymore. Like, I'm watching them, and I will continue to watch them. But at the end of the day, like, it's a different story. It has nothing to do with what my preconceived notion, because really the expanded universe was like ridiculous at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they got the fuck away from that as far as possible.
It went real fucking wonky in a lot of those books.
And not only that, it makes the universe small when all of these things happen to like 4 characters, you know? Like, I kind of dig the fact that Luke was like peace and like left. Like, I'm all right with that because they gave the chance to redeem him. You know, I just like...
But his way.
Yeah, but did they have to kill him? Like, that's my thing at the end of the day.
I thought it was a great poetic ending to a good character. It was time to let the character go, dude.
But
listen. We couldn't see him get cut in half.
No, we've already seen that.
Like other Jedi in the past,
sure,
or thrown out a fucking balcony window.
Yet another thing that they played on our preconceived notions in the fight with Kylo Ren when he runs him through with the sword, and Luke just like stands there. You're like, he's gonna Obi-Wan this, like this, how he's gonna go out,
right.
And then he didn't. You know,
he does the Matrix move.
Yeah,
the back bend.
So
I mean. I know there were some people who would like to have seen him like slid in half, like it was fucking Resident Evil, you know. But no, I thought it was great, man. I thought it fit. You know, I mean, it went down the line of Yoda and Obi-Wan, his predecessors, and there's a good ending to him, dude.
I mean, I get it. Like, I totally get it. I just now. We're kind of screwed in a certain sense because it looked like what they were setting this trilogy to be was it was going to be Han the first movie, Luke the second movie, and Leia was going to finish it up. But with Carrie Fisher dying, God rest her soul, as it were, we're like, from a storytelling standpoint, like, how the fuck are they going to do this now? Like, you got to bring Luke back now because you got no OTs.
Well, from a story standpoint, I don't know why they brought her back in the first place in this movie. She didn't do anything after she was brought back.
You mean after the ship exploded?
After she Supermaned.
You're
okay,
right.
first off,
Mary Poppins.
She Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins.
She's
shit.
all Mary Poppins, y'all. I like that point in the movie because I was certain she was dead.
Right.
But her coming back didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that was the thing. I think they were setting us up for her to be the lead of episode 9.
And to say, she's part of this great Jedi bloodline, and to have never seen any type of power from her before, it was a good little.
It was a
little thing,
little gift.
It was a little Mary Poppins-ish, but
and she was out there in the middle of space for a little bit.
I was more bummed about how they fucking killed Admiral Akbar in that scene than actually Carrie Fisher's character. But I think they also it would have been so predictable that we had lost Carrie Fisher, and they said, okay, well, we're just going to end it. You know, it was that would have been easy.
Oh, I definitely agree.
So they kept it
going.
They kept it going.
Well, plus we also would have missed the Luke and Leia moment at the end.
That's why
we had to
see
that. We had to see that final goodbye. You know, I did like how they used her daughter a lot,
and I like how
a lot. I think that her daughter
she showed up in reshoots. By the way,
grow to be a character, hopefully in the coming movies.
They because all the Laura Dern stuff happened in reshoots. So all of the stuff with Belko was from.
Is Laura Dern really that fucking tall?
Yeah, dude, she's giant.
Totally.
Watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
tall.
She stood in for the Brachiosaurs. It was awesome.
Right.
God damn. But yeah, they did all the stuff after Principal with her, and they added that whole extra storyline in, and then because when you get down to it and you start looking at it, there's stuff that's missing. Like Luke was like, I'm going to give you 3 lessons, and we only got 2. Because they shot the 3rd lesson and then they edited it out of the film, so we'll see that on the Blu-ray. I'm sure it'll be on the 7th Blu-ray if they do it like they fucking did it last time, assholes. Where they didn't put all the deleted scenes on one. They were you gotta buy 7 versions to get all the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm all, you can eat a dick. I'll just watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean. Yeah, anyways, I don't know where I was
So she was
going.
added in after the fact, Laura Dern's character?
Yeah, she was not part of the original script. She came in when they did pickups and reshoots.
The world's worst leader.
I don't. Okay. Getting into, I don't want to jump into what bugged us yet. I still want to talk about. We got more to talk about in the film. So let's talk about like all of Finn's stuff. Really, the Finn Poe, the ship being outrunning the Star Destroyers.
It's a great idea.
Did you like that?
I wanted more pressure from it.
Poe's little mutiny, I like that.
I kind of dug that.
I wanted to feel like it was more of a time crunch, that gas is running out or fuel is running out and we have to get to the planet and do this now. I felt it was like a little diversion-y. I didn't feel like there was that thought in the back of the head of the ticking clock.
Yeah.
To me, I thought the whole Poe mutiny thing was great because it's like, listen, we know you're a hotshot and you're a hero, and we need that at times, but we don't need that all the time. And it allows the character to learn a hard lesson and allow him to grow.
He had a great.
Down the
I mean,
road.
if you look at his character arc from the movie, like he had good character development. You know?
He went from being a coward and running away to willing to sacrifice himself at the end.
Yeah, and I felt like Finn.
No, you're talking about Finn, not Poe.
Oh,
Poe. Yeah, Poe's a white guy. Finn's the not white guy. So
he's Hispanic.
I believe he's Italian, isn't he?
Oh my.
Oh my. So Chris, what about you? What did you think about that whole section?
Which one?
Like the chase, the big chase in the capital ships. So basically, the Mon Calamari cruiser and the other two ships that we see fleeing. Kind of the first hour of the film.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What were you doing? We were literally sitting here having.
You were talking about like Poe. The beginning of the film is the bombing run.
Right.
Are you talking about the casino?
We're just talking about everything the next hour after that.
For me, honestly,
they've been tracked through
hyperspace,
which is something brand new.
Right.
They get out and all of a sudden, boom.
Although Rogue One,
Did
you see the Rogue One Easter egg?
I did see
That's
that.
fucking kind of brilliant. Like way to set up a plot point for later on. You know,
you kind of ripped on something by calling it Speed 2 or whatever.
It was Speed in Space. Yeah,
but for me, the absolute coolest part of this movie was the fact that we finally see these ships running out of fuel.
Yeah.
We have never seen that in any of the movies.
not as a concept. No, I mean they do fuel the ships,
right?
You know,
but it never affected the story.
No.
In any of the movies.
What are their
and I thought,
fuel prices?
Right?
Well, they're not.
They have like California gas tax.
No,
I'm gonna fucking start a rebellion too. Fuck.
No, I thought it was brilliant. It was something that we hadn't seen before.
Cool.
Now, when you get back to the Millennium Falcon shows up and they're gonna pull all the fighters away, and instead of flying out, we're gonna go in a very small confined space again and do the twisting, turning.
Oh, they love that crap.
Oh my God,
I love it.
I feel like it was like totally taken out of every other movie we've
when it's
seen.
Scraping across something too is so cool.
Right, every time. Every time.
You know what I do love about this setup that they've done is they've set up Poe as being the fucking greatest starfighter ever. Like he is the greatest pilot to ever pilot a ship, and they doubled down on that shit in this movie. And I'm like watching this, and I'm like, God damn, if I'm not like, I'm in love with Poe. I'm biting my lip right now.
I was in the theater. I had a bucket of chicken. I'm gnawing on it. Like I said, that boy good.
But that shit, I'm like, God damn, like I'll buy that, you know?
How great was it that they called to get advice from, what is it, Maz?
Yeah.
And she's in the middle of a union dispute.
I actually hated that part.
I hated
Really?
that as
I thought
well.
that was
I wasn't
hilarious.
with that part.
It was
man.
no.
I like that part.
I'm like, here, you got your bar blue to fuck. You didn't do dick all then. And now you're out there playing fucking Call of Duty on the fucking big screen, you know, like, man, kind of.
I thought that was hilarious.
Nah.
Like, you think there's this big battle going on because her place got all tore up. She's having a union dispute. And they're like shooting at each other over it. That's fucking hilarious.
I like that part too. That was one of the ones where I kind of laughed. I giggled. So it was fun to catch up with Maz and have her be doing something funny.
I don't like her as a character to begin with. So.
Oh, really?
I do.
Not one of my favorites either. Not, man. I was like, I didn't really care for her in the first one.
Okay, good times.
I also liked the chase on horseback, whatever the heck those things are.
The Chihuahuas?
The whatever they're called.
To me, that scene, I was like, they stole this shit out of The Hobbit, man.
But when they came up into the grass, it was fucking beautiful. Like, I don't know what, if it was CG or if they just like dropped some CG into some real footage. I don't know what they did, but it looked really good as they came up over the hill. All right, you guys are looking at me like you don't know
No,
what I'm talking about.
I'm listening, man.
There was-
we all know. We all fucking saw the movie. We know
Okay.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, running around inside
you're
the.
painting a fucking picture.
All right.
I can't stop. Like I'm just like
All right.
I
Appreciating the art.
Oh,
You know,
I didn't
feel the
really.
cool breeze right
I didn't
now.
like the races around the track. I thought that was kind of whack, but I did like them going through all the casino and trash and everything. Hey, did you hear Mark Hamill had a second role in the film doing voiceover stuff?
Really?
Yeah,
did not know that.
and there's speculation. It's uncredited, but he wanted to do some voiceover work. And
It's in the credits at the end.
is it?
It's like Guga Gaba or something like some weird
But
alien name.
We don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah, good luck finding
Speculation
who that
is
is.
it's the little drunk dude putting coins into BB-8.
Oh, fucking love that moment, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like that to me, it's like
That was so funny.
look. Once
Well,
again,
it's like when they turn R2 into a fucking like drink dispenser on
Right.
those fucking bars
Right.
and shit. You know.
and then by the way, these droids, and it like goes along with the tradition of Star Wars, but the amount of shit that BB-8 has inside of his little body,
Right.
is fucking impressive.
Right.
He's
yeah.
the Swiss Army droid.
What is he fucking plug in the fucking the shorts
doing the finger in the dike moment.
Yeah, it was so great, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? This movie sort of got the dumb droid humor. It like grabbed onto it.
Oh my God, where the second one failed miserably. Clones failed. So terrible. The
you
droid
just didn't
humor.
like the fucking puns. That's all.
They were terrible.
I was fine.
That's-
when he's losing his head. I was like, that's
Oh
great.
my
I love
God.
it. It's haha.
I'm beside myself. Fuck off.
I would
That was
write that.
dog shit, dude.
You would write that.
And that's how you know it's bad writing.
That's just because it's aimed at 11-year-olds doesn't mean you have to write jokes that 11-year-olds would tell.
okay. That's fine. But either way, let's not like it.
Okay.
Your hatred for the prequels, and yet somehow you like this movie. I don't get it.
fucking
so.
bleeds through so much.
I know, right? Like, none of it makes sense to me because everybody I know that fucking hated the prequels with a passion is in love with this movie. And I'm like, I don't get how you hate Attack of the Clones and yet you watch this movie because this movie has the same fucking problems. The first hour is ponderous. It's not overly exciting. You're just sort of watching a movie where the first hour of Attack of the Clones, there's some cool stuff that happens, but it's a lot of setup. And then that last 90 minutes, you're like, God damn, this is fun.
Well, the difference is this is slow moving in the first half, but they're with characters we know and like.
They're also, you
yeah.
know what? There are other things that I've talked to some Star Wars fans, super fans. I'm talking super fans here, who miss things like the swipe scene.
Yeah, there were none. There were
None of that.
none of that in this movie. I think there
Yeah.
wasn't there. No, there wasn't a swipe in this movie, was there?
No, not according.
Are you
to
talking
my
about the
friend.
transition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They like that little crap, dude. It feels.
There was
good
some
to
of that
them.
kind of stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I don't remember there being a lot.
It just wasn't.
I just
used
feel
as
like that
heavily.
shit's kind of hokey. I mean,
Yeah, but it's Star Wars, dude.
I get it.
I mean, it's part of
It's
the
like the opening
presentation.
shot. You got the
Right.
stars zoomed
Boom,
down to the ship.
Dude, when there were people who complained about Rogue One that didn't have
the
the
crawl.
fucking the crawl in the beginning, dude. I mean, like, I guess, and what a douchebag move. The club that I'm part of, the 501st, we get invites to the premiere and the red carpet event and stuff like that. Last year when they did Rogue One, some douchebag from our club like yelled in the middle of the fucking premiere, "Where's the fucking crawl?" Like, dick. Like, you know, they're not gonna have us back. You
No.
do shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people miss that on that, and I'm sure we're not gonna see it in the Solo movie.
No.
Well, this movie had flashbacks too, which was
Right.
like, I mean, it was fine for storytelling, but that's the first time we've ever had a flashback
Yeah.
in any of these movies, you know. And it was interesting to me because
Well, we had it one in the previous one as well.
Wait, what flashback? What are we talking about?
Like, Rogue One.
Luke
Well,
and
no,
Kylo.
Rogue One.
Are you talking
that
about her as a kid?
Yeah.
But that was like a force. Like that was like she was seeing something through the force
They didn't
when
go-
that happened. Yeah, this one was literally like, I'm telling you a story, and now you're going to
Yeah.
see.
But they
the
showed
story.
it instead of
Oh,
just
are you
saying
talking
it.
about the Kylo?
Yeah, the
scene?
Kylo stuff. And what was interesting was we got that story, that visual of that 3 times, and each time it was slightly different.
Yeah, it's like the Rashomon.
Yeah, where it was like, I mean, there was a lot of really interesting stuff in this movie as far as that goes. Like Rey using the Force to me was really interesting, where it was like, you know, tell me what you see, you know, and like as she's describing it, I'm like, I'm watching like. This is like fucking watching, you know, I'm like one of those late 70s French films, you know, where shit's
Yeah.
flashing, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, what'd you guys think of Rey the dark tree from Empire, as it were, when she went to the cave down below.
It's necessary for all
Harry Potter's
Jedi.
mirror.
But I mean, it was kind of funny because that was like another moment where I was like, oh, like they're messing. Like I felt in that moment you were messing with the audience because it's like, oh, I'm gonna see the parents, and then it's like it's just Rey, da, 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 da.
Right?
You know. Yeah, I mean, let's get off track a little now and move over to let's talk about what we didn't like about the film.
No, wait, I had one last thing.
Oh, okay, you got more you like?
Yes. I love that Rey ends up with the books.
Which Steve and I did not neither of us caught the first viewing.
That.
I missed it the first time too.
Yeah.
Which gives new meaning to all the Yoda shit when he destroys the tree and he's like, like he knows.
Back to what we loved about the movie, the fucking whole Yoda scene. I mean, I had a fucking grin, dude, from ear to ear.
We got
Puppet
Puppet
Yoda.
Yoda again.
Yeah.
I loved it. Well,
I was happy about that.
I'm not on board with Puppet Yoda, so
But it was the one that Luke knew.
and I'm okay with that.
I like puppet crap, but that's not why I liked it. I liked it because they brought the character back. I liked what he had to say.
He was crazy Yoda again.
You know.
Well, and I think Yoda.
Yes,
I think
too.
I think Yoda as a character, and a lot of people don't think about this, but to get to sort of crazy Yoda, like Yoda made his mistakes in life too, you know. And I mean, the Clone Wars was that, like Yoda essentially on his watch, Palpatine rose to power.
Yeah.
You know, and if you look at it from that standpoint, like he basically is like, there's more important things than what we did and the things that happen. And I think that's what makes Yoda like such a brilliant character in episode 5 and 6. You know, 5 is the first time we meet him. Like you sort of like, it's that, you know.
But did they even know at that point, or is it just kind of like a happy accident? You know,
even
It
if
was a happy accident.
even if it was a happy accident, who cares? Like it's a
there was
good happy
another one
accident.
like that in this movie. There was another happy accident.
But I agree with you.
I remember
Like
what it
I
was.
was with. Was anybody else like? When the minute you saw Yoda's little head, like I was full of smiles.
Right.
And you know what? To reassure you, I believe we're going to see Luke again.
I agree because
Going to be a Force.
And now let's segue into things
See
we
you around,
hated.
kid.
Things we hated. Yes, of course we're going to see Luke again because they've completely changed the rules on Force Ghost now, and what a Force Ghost can and can't do.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Blow up
rules?
trees with lightning.
Wait! Slow the fuck down. This is where I get fucking pissed at people when they start talking to me about rules of the fucking Force. Like, when the fuck did you become a Jedi fucking master? Just because you watched a movie or two?
Or two?
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. There's Yoda, 900 fucking years old.
Okay.
He didn't know about Force Ghosts.
Hold
Yes,
up.
he goes, by the way, I learned something new. I fucking talking to Qui-Gon. 900 fucking years. And you, how old are you?
40.
You're 40? You don't know shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you done with your diatribe there? I mean, that's funny. Don't get me wrong. But okay. How many movies have we had at this point? 8, right?
Yeah.
Including the Bad Store, Clone Wars 1, 9, including the holiday special, we'll call it 10.
say
Including
holiday.
the fucking Ewoks, 2 Ewok movies, we'll call it 12.
6 fucking seasons of Clone Wars.
6 seasons of Clone Wars, 4 seasons of Rebels.
God damn.
Has a Force Ghost ever fucking set a tree on fire?
Has a fucking hologram ever given anybody fucking dice?
This is but I got
We're
issues
not
with
there
them
yet.
motherfuckers. We're not there yet. Give me fucking time.
Yes.
So first off, we've changed. We not necessarily haven't changed the rules, but we've definitely redescribed the rules on fucking what a Force Ghost can and can't do. So much so that I think now when I'm thinking back to other films, as soon as this movie's done, and I'm all, so did Ben Kenobi fucking like push that goddamn proton torpedo down that tube? Because if a Force Ghost can fucking affect the world around him, like you gotta like consider this possibility. Furthermore, if Force Ghosts can now fucking help out and affect the universe, like what the fuck have all these Force Ghosts been doing this whole time? like you guys
Maybe
are
Yoda
assholes.
just figured it out.
In that moment, he was
Well,
like,
no, I mean leading up to it, he was
I
like pushing the wind around for a while, and like, hey, guess what? I can make lightning.
oh,
Cool.
making everyone think Luke has bad gas, like
Yeah.
creating smells and such. But see, to me, it's like you've created something that now it's like, okay, well, now that you've introduced this, and I'm always okay with good storytelling choices.
Because we all know Ron likes a story.
Fucking
As
A,
long
I
as
love
you
a
earn
story.
it.
As
Yeah,
long
it
as
has
it's
to be
earned.
right.
Fuck you all. But this, like, you added a brand new spanking rule to this universe that's really fucking interesting.
I'm
And-
so on board with that one though.
Sure, I hate
The Leia shit. I was
Leia
kinda
was
like,
always a Force user though. And I'm with Steve. Like we've watched 8 movies.
Is she
and
fucking Star-Lord? She gonna hang out in space for like 5 minutes and then finally
first off,
fly
Neil
back?
deGrasse Tyson has already taught us that you are not going to explode in space. This isn't fucking Total Recall.
Okay, but-
like you're going to die from asphyxiation, which does
And
not happen.
freeze.
No, the temperatures of space vary wildly. Okay, so it just depends on where she is. Like she could have been closer to a star and been warm. It would have been fine.
She
all
could have
right?
peed in space.
They
and
showed
warmed
her
up around
freezing.
She's
You
getting
can't-
cold. She's
you
not
can't-
freezing.
You can't fucking argue with fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No.
This is true.
That motherfucker.
Plus,
He is
our
smart
Star Wars
motherfucker.
space rules are rules of our space. I don't think they are.
Oh God, no, because we have sound, right?
Yeah,
So,
explosions and
Explosions
fire.
in space.
yeah,
right?
look, I think the Leia stuff is not, but one of the ones that bugs me is the Snoke creating a connection between Kylo and somebody he does not know. So he just makes, and Steve's just rolled his eyes in like a
Listen,
fantastic
man,
way.
I mean, fucking even Palpatine said there was only one Force user that knew how to fucking save them. If you look at even the comic books, the Force is fucking wild,
Right,
man. It's
right.
all over the fucking place. They're talking about keeping themselves alive, bringing motherfuckers back from the dead. I mean,
Right.
just like,
Creating life, you know?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Anakin just, he's all of a sudden,
Jesus.
baby space Jesus,
But
I
they
mean,
introduced a lot of new concepts in one movie.
Yeah.
They did, like
Well,
fucking A,
yeah.
they did. And I think some people are put off by that. And I look, I'm all for it.
The Force became very, very powerful in one movie.
Well, I
It was
think
always been powerful, but to fight battles.
But
with
here's the point though.
it's
How many Jedis-
flows through us?
How many
Okay.
Jedis and Sith were tapping into that shit in the past?
okay.
Now you've got Luke and
So wait, you're
Oh,
Leia.
No. See,
And
that's
Rey
that's where
and
the
Snoke.
Emperor was always wrong, man. There's fucking Jedi everywhere.
Yeah, there's like the little
you
kid.
can't stop. That's what the Inquisitors were doing. They
No,
were
but here's what I'm
hunting
saying.
them down and because you can't stop the Force and you can't stop
No,
baby
I-
Jedi.
I'm not- let me finish.
No,
Let me
wait, I'm
finish.
curious about your concept here. So you think the Force is like DSL, where like if me and my neighbor get on at the same time, it like fucking chokes my bandwidth?
How do we know it's not?
I don't.
If you have more people tapping into this energy field, there's less energy for other people to tap into.
So when my Netflix doesn't work because my neighbors are
it's because fucking Obi-Wan next door is watching porn.
got it. All right. I
Just
don't know.
a thought.
I mean, it's an interesting concept,
yeah.
but I don't find the Force to be a limited pool.
how is
of
Rey
power.
and
It
Kylo?
is
How are they
midichlorians.
so much more powerful than all the other Jedis that we've seen up to this
without
point?
any training.
Right.
Well, no. Kylo,
You've got
Kylo's
fewer
had
people.
training.
Kylo's had training, but Rey.
also comes from a strong bloodline of the Force.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, that's why we could buy him stopping lasers in
but
midair.
Rey
Last
is
movie.
stronger.
Is she though?
Is she?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know that she is.
They're equals. That's why they broke the lightsaber.
Are they though?
Yeah,
I don't think they are. I don't
because
think
then one would have won.
I don't think Kylo is necessarily like holding back Vader style, but I just think his power set is a little different, and he keeps coming down to Rey's level. Like he doesn't seem to me like he's actually trying to kill Rey as much
No.
as he just like he cares about her and wants her to be a part of his life for some weird reason.
And that's my problem with him in this movie.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because
Hey, man,
I think you
Jedi
have a-
need love too. Dude.
Well, no,
Well,
I
actually,
think you have
Jedi
a-
can't love.
Yeah, this is true. You have a-
according to that book.
she took it with her, so fucking
still
Finn ain't
around.
getting them now. That's why he's sniffing around the other girl.
Yep.
So I feel like Chinese food tonight.
Oh,
But the thing I'm talking about at the end of the day is like I think Kylo feels a connection to her. From the get-go, he felt like this connection when he tapped into her mind,
Yeah.
you know? And he is a person without connections, yet he has one, and it just happens to be like his arch rival, you know? It's makes for interesting storytelling.
Do we
you know?
believe that her parents were nobodies?
I think J.J. Abrams doesn't, and we'll be changing that when we get to the next film.
Maybe.
So,
I don't know. I think it's a good fresh start.
I mean, we lied to Luke in the first, original film.
And the halfway
Did
through the
anybody
second
fucking
one.
you think back to yourself like fucking Anakin Skywalker, General Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Clone Wars, traitor in the end. This name floating around the fucking universe a little bit.
People might have known about this.
Right? So this motherfucking kid goes bursting into the fucking, like, jail. Like, I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to save you. Like, fuck. Yeah, I heard of you. I know your fucking dad.
You don't know,
I heard
man.
about your dad from my dad. Your dad's an asshole.
You don't know, man. Skywalker could be one of those names in the galaxy.
Like Jones.
It's
It could be Smith or fucking Diaz or some shit like that.
It's not as fucking cool as we think.
Right.
The Miltses and the Rons and the Thayers and the Hales.
Yeah. Well, actually, we all and everybody in this room pretty much has like a
Like
kind
in
of
our
unique
universe,
name, you
in
know?
our university, like, that motherfucker named Skywalker? That's pretty fucking cool.
Right,
You
right.
know? Yeah, there could be just like Smith.
That'd be great though if like there was like Skywalker and like 7 people. They're like, yeah, over
Right.
here like Luke Skywalker and like 4 people were like me,
Right.
and they're like Luke Johnson Skywalker, and they're like, oh, that's not
Every
me. That's,
desert dweller seems to be a Skywalker. You ever notice that?
it'd be
Well,
like
it's probably
Blazing
a
Saddles.
Trinity.
It's like
Right.
Howard Johnson says. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I think one of the downfalls of like the way they've set this up with storytelling is there's definitely they are flying by the seat of their pants with this. Like they're not really plotting this out ahead of time.
That's why I'm worried for the next one. Is it's going to basically go all the things that we revealed in the last one? Well, we're going to change it again.
Yeah, man.
I still want to know what the hell happened with 3PO's pinchy red arm, dude. Like, what the hell was that all about?
You
They-
probably noticed that I have a red arm.
right. Why even put it in if we're not going to talk about
It's more
it?
of that crap that's in the books.
It's been 30 years.
Yeah.
It's laid out in the books that he was awarded that for accomplishing some mission or something like that.
He's a right-hand man.
Oh, that'd be funny.
They've done a lot of crap with the books where it's like, because they want you to buy the books.
They do.
They want you to
They
buy
want
the
you to
books.
complete the story.
Exactly.
And everybody that's whining and complaining about who Snoke is, first off, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. He's
Doesn't
gone.
matter.
Second off, he's dead. He ain't coming back. Second off, they're gonna release a fucking book about it, you know. And I think the problem is of some of the storytelling is that people have this weird conception in their minds about what they remember the original Star Wars trilogy being because of all the ancillary shit that came out over time, you know. And it's so much so that there are things in the movie that are never named in the movie that we fucking know the name of because of toys and shit, you know.
oh, yeah.
And
I mean,
like I don't recall them ever saying Slave 1 in Empire.
no.
Yet everybody on the planet was like Slave 1, you know?
Right.
Is Boba Fett named in Empire?
Yeah.
No.
Not in Empire. Only
He's
in,
named in
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so you just literally have this cool background character that, like, you know, we all fell in love with, and we know it. We knew it from the Christmas special. You know, that's where we first met Boba Fett, and they said his name, but they never said it in Empire.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I think
Dude,
when
every alien in Jabba's palace, every alien
Yeah, you
in the
fucking know
cantina,
all their
all
names.
have names and they all have stories. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think what part of the thing that I think people are getting hung up on is like these storytelling elements that they were like, I have an idea of what it's going to be. And we talked about on the show. I thought Rey would be like a Kenobi, you know, we thought, you know, and all that. But I'm not the type of person where coming away from that, I'm like, I'm butthurt. I'm butthurt that what I thought was going to be is not so. Like,
Right.
I don't get
We're
that.
going to write a petition so you can take it out of
How
canon.
dare they
remake this
just-
movie immediately.
How dare them just make it so simple that he was really nobody?
And
How dare them?
But I'm okay with that. But I would actually be even more okay with it if there was a fucking twist in the next movie, and her parents were somebody. Like if they came back and basically were like, Kylo Ren was lying to you, so you would join him on the dark side. Like there's no reason
That would be the one undo I'd be willing to accept because it makes sense for his character
right,
to lie.
right. Well, and then I'm with Steve. They're gonna bring Luke back in the next movie.
Oh, yeah.
Luke is gonna be a Force ghost in the next movie.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's no way around it at this point. Carrie Fisher is dead. You need that original trilogy connection to bring people back in. Like you have to have it, even if it's just for one scene.
Yeah.
He'll
Just
be
like
there.
remember when they brought back Ben? You're like, fuck, that's cool,
Right,
You
right.
know, so
And I mean, I think there's a chance we see Obi-Wan Kenobi in the next movie too. I think there's a chance we
he's
see.
gonna be Ewan McGregor.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna see Ewan McGregor in the next film.
Or CGI Alec Guinness.
I don't think we're gonna see CGI Alec Guinness because they're setting. To me, you're doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi spinoff next, and
They want young Ben.
well, I think you're doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi spinoff next, and you're gonna fucking have Ben show up in Episode 9 right the year before the Obi-Wan Kenobi spinoff movie happens.
Yeah.
So I think it's like destined to happen.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason I could see Luke not showing up in the next movie is if they decide to use Obi-Wan as the Force ghost that talks with Rey. You know,
Rey's like, who the fuck are you?
he's all, I'm the one that said your journey is beginning, like in the last movie.
Remember that montage? I was the narrator.
So what else we have that we were not happy with?
I want to say I loved Kylo Ren in the first one. I love that he was unhinged and I didn't know he would grow up to be. This movie, I'm not afraid of him. And that's what I was missing, a character
You know what
I was
it
afraid of in this movie.
It was the beefcake scene. He just no longer was afraid of him because he had his nipples out.
Do you think after Snoke gave him crap out the helmet, you think he's gonna go get a new one? I think he's done with the helmet.
I think he's done with the helmet.
I think he's done with it
love
as
the
well.
helmet.
I like the helmet,
they're
too.
killing all the past ideas, like the
True.
black guy with the dark character with the mask and all
I
that.
kind of dug the moment when he was like, "Take that off. You look like a It was weird.
A child
to me
in a mask.
because like he keeps invoking Darth Vader, but then he keeps like, I think it was just Snoke being an asshole.
Yeah.
To like get a rise out of Kylo, and I think that's what the interesting thing about these relationships with the dark Jedi or the Sith and the apprentices is essentially like. It's almost like Stockholm syndrome, you know,
Right.
where like you're in love with this person that fucking treats you like shit, you know. And to keep you in line, I'm gonna fucking constantly treat you like shit, which I thought was interesting. So.
Yeah, but my problem is that there's no one to fear, because if Kylo had turned Rey, then I would be scared again, going, oh wow, like he had the power to persuade her, and now we got two powerful entities on one side. But then even at the end, it's kind of comedic when he's firing the little the Walker cannons at Luke's Force ghost guy, or the hologram, and it's a comedic moment. We're not afraid of him because he's being that petulant child we saw in the first one, and at first we were afraid of what he would grow into, but now he's not growing into anything. He's still
I would kind of disagree a little with that because I think he made some pretty grown-up choices as the movie went on, because he chose not to shoot Leia like in the
Right.
TIE fighter. Like that was still sort of him
He
holding on
has
to the
this.
bat.
Yeah, I saw him
He
holding
has
back.
that conflict in him, that light and good.
and that's why I'm not
in
afraid
him.
of him.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that
He might be a more interesting character,
Yeah, but I think
we're
he-
missing a villain now.
he made the choice, though. No, I don't think we are, because he made the choice to go full dark side when he killed Snoke. Because he could have killed Snoke and then went with Rey and been part of the Resistance. But
I got
he,
a major problem with that.
He
whole
chose.
scene.
What?
With the
What's
whole
your problem?
Snoke scene?
Snoke scene.
What's?
The guy can use the fucking Force to
Okay.
connect people all the way on opposite ends of the galaxy.
Okay.
He can see his thoughts, but he can't see that other hand turning the lightsaber next to
It's
him.
because your
Because he was playing the pronoun game.
Your arrogance blinds you. Come on, man.
No, man. He totally saw what was in Kylo Ren's head. He just didn't see who it was directed at. That's the thing. Because
Horse shit.
he's playing it both ways. That's
It's next to him. How does he not peripherally see that?
because his eyes were closed as he
Because
was
his
using the Force.
fucking arrogance blinds him. I
Thank
just
you.
fucking said
Thank
it,
you.
dude. Because
I
your
call
fucking
bullshit.
arrogance blinds
And you saw
you.
the scars on his face. Maybe he doesn't see too well anymore.
That could be it.
Jesus
And why was his
Christ.
fucking head all
That
lopsided?
He
motherfucker
was-
had glaucoma.
he
That's
was-
all I'm saying.
He had late stages of space syphilis, man.
It looked
He
like
was
something
fucked
was going.
up, dude.
One eye was all
One night
higher
in
than
Jabba's
the other.
palace,
and
man.
Okay.
This is a
Dog-looking
fucking
motherfucker.
old Shannon Doherty on
Was
there.
it
What was
really,
that all about?
like at the end of the day, did that character really need to be CGI motion
No.
capture?
Right?
Couldn't Andy Serkis just be Andy Serkis as Snoke? Like,
right.
Yeah, I think they could have gotten.
Is that who it was?
I think
Yeah.
they could have gotten some really good makeup effects out there instead of
Like
having
that,
to do
and because
but,
it's like
you
it
know,
didn't bother
that's
me.
just me.
It didn't bother me anytime he was in the chair or you did a close up on his face. But when he
Right.
got up to walk, I'm all, this motherfucker has like polio or something.
Right.
Like watch, and then when you watch it the second time, like the Snoke walking CGI is terrible. And then his size changes. Like they don't do a great job with that in relation to the other characters.
Yeah, sometimes he's giant. Sometimes.
Yeah, he's really giant when him and Rey are like, but then when they get head to head, their heads are like kind of the same size, and I'm like, you'd be like a little tiny head on a real giant body.
Yeah,
So-
I like the way they got rid of him personally.
I think that
not
was
because of you know because it's cool and cut him in half. I just thought it was, like I said, it's getting away from that old.
Right.
We're gonna go on with this. He's the
Emperor,
master.
yeah,
He's the
yeah.
fucking apprentice.
But you know what? That's
shit
what
the
happens
whole
every
fucking
time. The apprentice always kills the master.
yeah, but we've never really seen that before.
Yeah, we did with
don't-
Vader.
Vader
but
didn't-
not until the end. Listen,
Yeah.
like we wrap that shit up, and we're on to something new. We started
Not only that,
letting you
but
believe this.
that's where the twist is
Yeah.
that he killed his master, but he didn't turn to the light side to do it. He took advantage of a situation.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have said all Sith kill their masters.
Just
they've
take
also
over.
they've never established that they're Sith.
Yeah, they're
If you
not
also-
Sith in
Yeah.
this.
if
Okay,
you
all
notice
bad
fucking-
dudes.
You know, he doesn't get all that Sith fucking
the eyes. He doesn't have
eyes
the
and
yellow
shit,
eyes.
You know,
Which I'm curious about that. Do you think he's like not tapping into the dark side in the same way?
I mean, they made a lot of shit different. I mean, look at the lightsaber and the raw power that's coming out of there. That crackling.
I love that lightsaber.
That's
dude.
so
Cool,
good.
right? But it's not like any other lightsaber you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not like any of the Jedi. It's not like any of the Siths. All the Siths were nice and smooth because they got the same crystals, pretty much from the same place.
I think they're
Something's
they're
different
pushing
with,
this
you
gray
know.
Jedi thing where it's sort of
Yeah.
like the balance. And I think these two characters, like, because Rey's not a good guy either. Like, and Luke says it. He goes like, "You went to the dark side, like, without even questioning it," you know. And that's when he was like, you know, "I've only seen raw power like this one other time," you know.
Yeah.
Here in your fucking 4-hour correspondence course, we cannot have that.
Come on, man! I've seen my wife go straight to the.
I think
fucking
they got
dark
some
side.
problems. I think it's
Right,
I think it's
wow.
just sloppy movie making, sloppy storytelling.
Okay.
Because you've got your hero. I can't remember his character name, but the Anakin kills him in the third film. What's his
Dooku?
name? Dooku. Yes.
Why?
I couldn't remember. He didn't have yellow eyes.
I don't think he was as strong with the dark side.
Oh,
Or let it-
Jesus.
No, because check
He
it
was
out.
his apprentice.
He was super powerful. Like in the Clone Wars, he was
Yes.
super powerful.
Yeah, but like
I think it's sloppy storytelling.
But I
dude.
think you really only saw the yellow eyes. Really, if you think about it, like it was like Darth Maul.
Uncontrolled,
Right.
unbridled hatred.
Right. The more rage they got, like the yellower the
Dooku
eyes
was
became.
under control
Definitely.
the whole time.
maybe.
Well, we had dark side users in the Clone Wars cartoon as well because Asajj Ventress didn't have yellow eyes. So
That's my point.
They need to
Is
bring
that
her back.
it's sloppy
I agree.
I'd like
storytelling.
to pick that actress out.
right, like
I've had never mind.
there have been
I've
dreams.
had some dreams.
There's some dreams.
Ventress, dude. Yeah.
Steve, how about for you? Anything you didn't like in this film
No, I mean,
besides Maz?
yeah, I mean, but that's to me that's like little crap.
Yeah.
Like nitpicky
It's
shit.
not.
right?
It's not like, oh, this fucking movie sucks. I mean, it was cool. I mean, but I'm also, you know, I was born in '74, dude. I'm a fan of '77 and Empire and all. You know, and we're, like I said in the beginning of the episode, dude, we're never gonna recapture that.
No.
You know, and that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. We're never gonna be wowed
No, it was the first to do
like
that.
we did. But my fucking sons were pretty fucking wowed,
Right.
and they were 5 years old, man, and that was like.
And you know what's fun? You know what's fun for me is like watching him. It's the first move. Like he's at that point now where it's like he's creating the memories that will stay with him for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
And this movie experience, like we saw Justice League, he like was like, yeah, Superman. Like, but this one, like, the fucking kid loves BB-8. Unabashedly loves
Dude,
BB-8 like I loved R2-D2.
Vince wants to be referred to now as fucking Boba Fett all the time. And he's like, I tell kids at school and they won't do it on our, like, why? I'm like, well,
Don't be that kid, Vince.
right, you know.
Your name's already Vincent Price. It's
I
cool
want to
enough as
be
it is.
I want to be Boba Fett, you know.
You're like, have at it, son.
So yeah, I'm like, hey, I'll
You're
call
like,
you.
if that
I was
fucking
all,
kid
hey,
can
buddy,
be gender
I'll tell you-
neutral, I should be able to be called Boba Fett, right?
Right. Fuck. I was like, buddy, I'll call you Boba. Okay, that's fucking pretty cool. You know, he said, why did mom let you name me Boba? I said, well, I barely got away with the Vincent Price part. So that might have been pushing it by calling you Boba Fett. So, but yeah, I mean, there was nothing that I hated about this
Was
movie.
there-
I love that they made it a planet out of red velvet chocolate cake. When he said salt, I said frosting. I was like, we walked out of that theater. I was like, we can get some fucking.
Now, did
we
you
can get
know
some
That was the
dessert?
dumbest line in the
I wanna
entire
get some
movie.
dessert.
Hold on. What was the line?
When they're all ready to shoot, they're all in the trenches, and the one guy reaches forward, puts his gun down, tastes the ground, and goes, salt. Just so we in the audience know, oh, it's salt on the ground.
Okay, fair enough.
It's total expository.
Thank
You know
you
what'd be
for
great?
thank you for walking us through this.
You know what'd be great is if the guy reached out and he's all salt, and the guy next to him is all tequila, and then they, like the two of them, the third guy's all limes. And
Well, we had to establish we weren't on Hoth.
right. They were like, this is not
This
snow.
is not.
We might have
it's
ice
white.
wolves.
It's white,
It looks like it's
and there's
the same
AT-ATs,
scene.
and you're in a trench.
Right.
But we're
Completely different.
We're not on Hoth,
Okay,
assholes.
and can we talk about why the fuck were they in a trench?
Right.
Like, what was the point of that? They didn't have ground troops like running towards the base or anything.
Did you see the size of them fucking AT-ATs, man? They were like 3 times the size of a regular AT-AT. Take your fucking rifle and go back inside.
Exactly, behind the giant doors.
Well,
like
Yeah.
the resistance was so weak in this movie.
this movie. Okay,
They
Well,
don't
there's a
deserve
reason
to
there's
win.
only a dozen of them because they're dumb as shit.
thank you.
I mean, fuck, dude.
Also, this movie they should not be calling this side of the saga Star Wars. They should call it like Planet War, because it's literally like the First Order feels like they own 9 ships, and the fucking what happened to the Republic fleet? I know it got blown up, but were all the ships in one fucking spot? Like nobody in the rest
they're
of the galaxy.
hiding in the fucking outer butthole rim.
They had a smaller fleet than the fucking rebellion had. Like at Rogue One, like the rebellion was more well equipped in Rogue One.
Look, man, you know,
Because
it's
they
like,
demilitarized over 30
they
years.
had like exactly. They had fucking.
Peace. Fucking peace.
I don't want to say it, dude. I don't want to say it. They had fucking, they
by
had,
the
they had
end-
fucking liberals in the fucking in the Congress, in the fucking Senate. They fucking they downsized the fucking military. You know, they're like, oh, we could fucking get away with fucking making shit out of paper mache. You know,
I thought they had a clone army.
I think
Yeah.
I thought they cut that scene. I think because they were like, we can't have any
Right.
Senate scenes in this fucking movie. Like people really didn't like those.
But by the end, all the resistance could fit
I mean,
on
let me
the
tell you,
Millennium
dude.
Falcon.
When they fucking blew up the fucking planet with the Senate, I was clapping. I was like, about time. We gotta get rid of these fucking assholes.
By the way, whoever thought like the good idea was like, we are the light that will light the spark, that will spark the fire, that will fire the fucking
Right.
thing, that will
And-
be. The-
How many times are we going to use that bullshit
and we
line?
said it like way more times than we need. But you don't understand, Mike. We are the light that will spark the fire, that will fire the flames, that will flame the.
Why wasn't that the title of the movie?
And then they all put on these fucking retarded masks with little mustaches. You know,
Okay,
Now,
Chris, I know you've been dying to talk.
Did you notice in the Kylo Luke showdown that Luke did not leave footprints
Well done.
in the sand?
That
And he looked younger.
The
He looked
first-
like
He did look
the,
younger.
yeah.
they really
They gave it away.
they gave
he
away.
did get a little cleaned up for that.
Well, they gave it away because it was literally the second time you watch it, you catch all of it, Steve. He's using the blue lightsaber that just got destroyed.
Okay.
He's young. He looks like the flashback Luke.
Exactly.
He's got all the gray is gone from everywhere, so he looks
just for men. Hey, I'm going out.
like right.
I haven't been out in a while.
Right.
I told the kids I was going to get ice cream. I've been fucking drinking in Ireland the whole time. Okay. So
mean
yeah,
on-
you get a little spruced up.
You mean on Water Planet? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm very happy, by the way, that Star Wars has continued the theme that planets can only have one environment. Like that really makes me happy.
Casino Planet.
Casino Planet.
Island Planet.
Swamp planet, sand planet. We have a lot of sand planets.
Yes. Although I did like I love
Yeah, it
the
was a
line
good
where
line.
she's like, "Where are you from? I'm from nowhere," and she's like,
Everybody's
"Everybody's
from
from
somewhere."
somewhere." From Jakku. Okay, that kind of
okay.
is nowhere. Like that's like great line. But yeah, man. Like, fuck, where were we? I like lost my train of thought.
They gave it away.
Oh, they gave it away. Yeah. So it's like those, and then he left no footprints, and they made
Yeah.
it a
Okay.
point to show you Kylo leaving a footprint, and then they
Right.
went to Luke like setting up for his stance, and he leaves no footprint in the dirt.
All
Or
right.
in the
Yeah.
salt.
All
Like
right.
very
They gave
the
a lot
second
away.
time, like when I watch it, I was like, this is kind of brilliant. Like all of that is fine. Like I dig it all.
And how cool is it that the cavalry didn't come and save the day?
Nobody came. That was great.
Right.
Like that once again, going against expectations, like from Jump Street, this movie. Like that's the one thing that I absolutely loved about it was I was like, you like this in your Star Wars movie? Too bad. You want somebody to come save the day? Too bad. You want like her to turn him to the light side? Too fucking bad. Like
Yeah.
See, if they had a downer ending, I'd have liked it a lot more. That they escape barely, and it's like, we are screwed. We got to figure this out. As opposed to, we go with the spark that will light the hope. And
Wait, but Luke showed up. That is the spark. They sparked that shit. They sparked it up.
they can think.
Well, they're still pretty decimated.
They're getting pretty high in the
They can
Falcon.
all fit on the Falcon. That is not an army.
Yeah, but I think going now into episode 9 theories.
But
like,
you got the kids telling the story.
Yeah, but we got a time jump.
But they didn't know that.
There's gonna have to be a big time jump. We're finally gonna get a time jump in these 3 movies, which we desperately
More
need.
than 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, if anybody's gonna build up an army, like, because seriously, the First Order, like the First Order feels like to me, it's almost like if North Korea, like somehow managed to fucking take over the world in an afternoon. Like that's what the First Order feels like to me. Like they're small little fucking.
Was nobody watching?
Yeah, you're like, hey, they turned North Korea into a giant laser cannon. What the fuck?
They have two dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing the whole time.
Yeah, no shit, right?
The biggest AT-ATs ever built.
The little monkey AT-ATs.
I think they're sloths, actually.
Everything. Oh, and then okay. We're in space. What the fuck do we need a battering ram for in space? You got a goddamn ship that has
Aim it.
giant cannons up in space.
Wait, battering ram.
That's what the fucking Death Star laser battering ram thing.
That Finn almost drove into. He almost did the Independence Day thing.
That was the battering ram? I thought
Yeah.
it was a laser.
The laser battering
It's
ram.
a laser battering ram, Chris.
Okay, but it's the same tech from the last movie.
I'm sorry. Are we sieging a lot of things in space? Is there a lot of people hiding behind castle walls? And
Maybe.
shit?
I don't know.
I think it's just a miniaturized version of that tech, man.
You know, you're full of shit. Like
They
It's a
outsourced
bit
it.
fucking weird, dude. Even I was like, oh, what?
No, man, they outsourced it to the guys from the Federation. They made it smaller.
Why did they
Just
land
like with
closer
China,
to them?
just make the tech smaller, and now they can put it on their
it's just
ship.
like, you know, they're sitting around going, listen, man, we have a budget. If we don't fucking utilize this budget,
Right.
next fucking quarter, they're going to cut our budget.
Just make a littler one.
So, like, why don't we we got the AT-ATs, why don't we just drop the motherfuckers down there? And
But
Ron's
far
like,
enough
well,
away
why
where
don't
they
we
can't
just
do anything?
Why don't we just bomb them? Or just throw Ron out the fucking airlock, okay? He doesn't get the whole budget thing.
This seems like a fucking pork barrel project for the fucking Corellian system, you know?
Right?
You're just creating shit that doesn't work.
How the fuck you think
the
all
New
those
Deal.
people are gambling?
Right?
You know, I mean, shit, war profiteers. They gotta make this shit, you know?
It cracks me up because it was like, and then I love the light speeders that they jump in, like the half B-wings.
Another, I was
carts.
like, I'm not getting in this.
Exactly.
There's gotta be a better way.
And then it's like, but what was great about it was they're like, here we go, guys. These 13 ships are gonna do it, and they didn't even fucking fire their guns. Like it was,
Right.
It was just like, well, that worked. and I'm like, did we learn nothing from the fucking? Like that was the one thing that bugged me was literally they were like, you got to learn when not to fucking run into the fire, Poe. Like the whole fucking movie, and then Leia's like, "Go run into the fire, Poe." And then Poe's like in the fire, and he's like, "You know, Leia, we
This is
shouldn't
a
have ran into the
dumb
fire.
idea.
This is not a good
We're
idea."
all gonna die.
I'd have been sitting there like, listen, I'm not getting in your fucking junk ship. I'm not getting in the fucking trench either. Did any of you fuckers watch Lord of the Rings? Did anybody see Two Towers? We're in Helm's Deep.
Yeah,
Come on in, bitches. I'll fight you then.
yeah, but not only that, but like the
was like, this-
fucking Death Star laser blasted a hole that was like big enough for like a person to walk
Right.
through.
Right.
You're like, the AT-ATs aren't coming through that. Like, let the stormtroopers run through. We'll just shoot at them one at a time.
It was cool how they utilized the snow trooper again on that planet.
That was
even
kinda
though
fun.
it was salt.
The salt.
Maybe
He's the salt trooper.
Maybe,
They were assaulted.
Hey, maybe it was fucking a snow planet, and then they
dropped
salted
salt
it,
to melt it.
like when you put it in the
It
driveway.
was just red snow.
Yeah,
No,
shit.
it's like somebody needed to scoop, like shovel, and they were like, just put salt everywhere, and then we'll
I want to
shovel
make a
later.
new alien world. Can't do snow. Let's use salt. Fuck. Sold.
One moment I loved and I hated.
Was Ray lifting rocks?
No.
And her going, oh, lifting rocks.
That was funny, dude.
That
You
worked
have
for
to
me.
admit that was great stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, and now she is the most
I
powerful
really-
Jedi ever. But
and
that's
now
cool.
I really want her to, like, her new outfit needs to be Leia's slave girl outfit, and I
support that.
totally.
Did you ever notice she has a really square head?
That's
I-
okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, I mean just saying.
You're wrong.
But no, it was
I'm not wrong.
She has
and
a
I will
very
show
she has
you.
a very strong jaw, and I like
jumping
that.
to
normally.
light-
Got lots
speed.
of teeth. Lots of
Yes.
teeth. Go ahead.
jumping to light speed through the other ship.
That was fucking
the
cool
best
as
moment.
fuck.
But in my opinion, that should have blown that fucking shit up.
No, man, no. That's not how light speed works.
Well, something cut your ship in half and everyone's still okay inside.
No, I think the thing you're missing is like Snoke's Star Destroyer. Like that one was as big as like a Super Star Destroyer. Like it was, but it was just wide as opposed to long. So I mean, when you think about the actual size of that, like you know, it would be like my house to fucking your house, Mike, like miles away. Which never makes sense to me on these spaceships because there's got to be like cars and shit on the inside because you're like, take this over to John in purchasing. And you're like, but that's all the way on the other side of the ship,
They
man.
use vacuum tubes, little bank vacuum tubes.
Oh, all right. I'm just saying these ships are like that was a big ass ship, Chris. So it's not gonna just nuke the whole fucking thing, you know. It's not like they shot it down an exhaust port or something that caused a chain reaction. They hit a non-essential part.
Right through the middle of it.
Okay, so we got to talk about Captain Phasma. All right.
Wow, this fucking
Chrome
character.
Dome, as they called her in the movie.
Ah, Jesus. Okay, we all can agree she's coming back again for the next movie, right? Because she's
Yeah.
like the fucking character that will
No,
not
no,
die.
they
She's
threw
the
her
new
in the
Boba
fire
Fett.
this time.
Yeah, she'll be back.
She'll be back. It would be great if she killed Finn this time, though.
That would be nice.
I think that'd be a nice fitting
Come back
end.
and be so
or
underwhelming.
they hooked up because Finn's trying to hook up with everybody. You know, Phasma's
He's
tall.
he's
but
fucking space speed dating, dude, and
He
she's
is.
sort of like
It's
low hanging
crazy how underwhelming that they've made this character, and they have sold it, especially in the beginning, so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's kind of the coolest fucking looking character like we've had in a long time.
Since Boba.
But at the same time, it's like
Since Darth Maul.
what a pointless exercise that whole character has
I'm
been.
glad she actually got something to do in this movie.
Sure.
That
last
fight
one-
scene was okay for the
but
3
she
minutes.
showed up out of
But she was
nowhere.
right next to Finn when she got to execute him.
And then she
goes,
was
and then
like-
they're across the entire docking bay, like, we all this cool ass march towards you now.
It was effective.
Well,
though.
you know,
There was an explosion.
That teleported
pretty
them.
big. You know, they're wearing armor. It's the first stormtrooper you've ever seen fucking take a shot like that.
And
Which one?
see the eye through
When
the
he
hole.
fucking shot her, and
Oh, that
And they
was,
said traitor again, guys.
that was
Yeah.
pretty dope, though. Like, I gotta admit, like her getting shot and it having no effect. And I dig what
Her
was
gun's kind of a bitch gun, though.
a little bit. Steve, what was the deal with the fucking stormtrooper with the white and black? The fucking Michael Jackson stormtrooper.
Executioners?
Is that what that was?
With laser axes.
yeah, I think I think
Vibroblades.
they have a name for him in the
It was
the
different.
visual
Yeah.
history.
I just didn't know if you knew.
Look, my pauldron is black.
By the way,
Fuck.
she's like, could you put a capelet or something on, like the Ray line? Like, oh my God, Adam Driver with the shirt
Oh
off.
yeah.
Like, literally, that's the most English thing she could have asked for. She's like, do you have a capelet that you could possibly put on? Well, not a shirt or a
No.
towel or something like that. So Phasma, like, is there any way they can redeem this character in the next film?
Do we want to?
Yeah, I mean, they could if they actually gave her something to frickin' do.
Yeah, it would be nice for them.
Let her go after them. Let her do something. Let her lead the charge. Because they have no villain now. I mean, Kylo is still the big bad now, but there's no... Who's your soldier? It's not Hux.
Hux is still around.
Hux
No,
is a
that's,
joke.
that's
He
not a
just
bad
got
idea.
knocked the fuck out.
Hux is fucking the Benny Hill character now.
Right.
It's like,
With the insipid British accent. Oh, we will stop you this time.
Become the Chevy Chase of the movie.
right? A little bit.
Pratfalls everywhere.
Although it's funny when Snoke did it to him the first time. Like, I was
Right.
like, oh, that's fun. But then it was like, by the fourth one, I'm all, really? Like, this motherfucker would have broken ribs at this point.
Right.
Your Bacta must be really strong. So, all right. So we're getting close to the end here. So let's talk about where does this movie fit in your pantheon of Star Wars movies? Like, where is it in your ranking, as it were? Chris, I already know where it is for you because you hate the prequels. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's not a tough one.
This is like a middle for me. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not as good to me as Rogue One or Empire.
so it,
Because right now, like I think Chris put that thing up, and like for me, number one will always.
oh, you mean the ranking on the chat? That was me. I did
Oh,
that.
was that you?
Well, I just
Okay.
wanted to see. I wanted to get a sense. And,
Yeah, because we did that before the movie came out. So to me, this finds a happy middle for me. It would be very hard to beat, and nothing's going to beat Empire for me. Empire is my true love. And then Rogue One came in and knocked Episode 4 down below that. Rogue
Really?
One to me, I love fucking Rogue One, dude.
All
It's fucking the original.
Oh, you weren't
Suicide
here
Squad.
for last year's. That was
No.
Yeah, like Rogue One. Steve and I both agree that Rogue One is like in my. It's for me. It's not in my top 3, but it's number 4.
I fucking loved
So,
it. I
but it's
loved how
great.
they said, you know,
It's one of my least favorite.
really?
What?
Oh man, I love it because it was like, yeah, we're the rebels and we're fighting for good, but you know what? We do a lot of bad shit. You know, like we bomb people, we assassinate. You know, I love showing that more human aspect instead of this white hat goody two shoes bullshit. I fucking do not like in movies.
Well, what's interesting to me, I think, is we're getting all the side adventures. To me, are going to be about like the non-Force users that we want to see. You know, I mean, truthfully,
Yeah.
I think
I mean-
they're not going to be any Force users in the Han Solo movie. You know,
Probably not.
well, you
Who
might
else
get
would
you
they
might
be?
get like I'm one with the Force is
Vader,
with me.
maybe.
I mean,
level, but,
yeah. I
you know.
mean, we haven't really even established what the Solo movie is going to be about.
We haven't
other
seen a
than Solo.
trailer and we're 6
Nothing.
months out. You know.
No, I
Yeah.
was surprised there wasn't a teaser before this movie.
Yeah, me too. To be honest with you, like I thought
Yeah.
that would have been the place to put it. Would have
Hey,
been,
you
like,
guys want to know something? I didn't get to see the actual crawl. I didn't get to read it.
Oh, it was long.
I
dude.
was in there and I was,
Yeah.
but I was fucking with my kids.
Three paragraphs.
I don't know how to count. Apparently, we sat in the wrong fucking seats. Of course, the people we had to move over. And
You
like,
were
I
at
was-
Mission
that
Grove?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like I had to like get them adjusted. By the time I turned around, I was like, fuck, I missed it.
The guy next to me on opening night sat through 20 minutes of previews and got up to pee. He's like, I gotta pee. Like told his friend, I gotta pee. Like gets up and leaves, and then like literally, it's like
Yeah.
Lucasfilm. I'm all that motherfucker.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Right,
and then he comes
fuck.
back in, and it's like it had been a while. Like the
Yeah.
bombing was already happening. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Like, I had to
There were
shit.
a lot of previews.
Dude, yeah, guys.
It was
know
like
that.
literally 15 minutes.
no for my theater. It was 24.
Wow.
I checked my time. It was 24
What?
minutes.
Not
preview.
bad.
24 fucking minutes of previews,
And not
including
all of them were good.
including a UCLA short film about
What?
Coke. I'm like,
They've
what the
been doing
hell?
no, they've been
fuck.
doing all those. They had a Chapman first, and they had some other film school. They basically
Where
hiring
was
these
this?
film schools.
At the Regals, so
Wow,
Regal
goddamn
chain.
bullshit.
So Steve, you're promptly in the middle on this one. Chris,
Yeah.
where are you at?
It's up toward the top. I would say it's like maybe 3 or 4.
I'm telling you to make your choice. So number one for you is, I think everybody in the room, number one's Empire, right?
Nope.
Nah.
We'll get to you in a sec. I'm interested.
New Hope.
New Hope's number one.
Yeah.
What's number two?
Empire.
What's number three?
Probably this one. I like it better than Rogue One.
No shit.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
You know, number 3 is not going to be anywhere in my top 5. You know that, right? I know you guys
Not
always
episode,
put that up.
Not episode 3. I'm just like, I want to know what
See,
your
to
top
me-
five
Right,
is.
right.
Episode 1 got knocked out by fucking episode 7.
Oh yeah,
You mean
because you're
New
like
Hope?
you hate.
Because to me, fucking Force Awakens is just a remake. They
Yeah.
had,
But it's fun.
It's all
maybe.
look, guys. It's all Star Wars at the end of the day. But,
Yeah.
like you're ranking them, so like
Yeah.
something's going to be your least favorite.
Yeah.
You know. So how about for you, Mike?
Number one would be New Hope,
Okay.
and then Empire, and then probably Episode 7.
Is your 3,
Yeah,
and what's your 4?
I would probably put Return. No, I put this one ahead of Return of the Jedi,
And then Return of the Jedi,
and then
all the prequels.
Sith,
Wow.
Phantom, and
Well,
then
for me, I'm still Empire's my number 1. Revenge of the Sith's my number 2. New Hope's my number 3.
I love Sith, dude. I'm with you
Yeah.
there.
New Hope's my number 3.
dialogue's so
Rogue One's my
terrible,
number
though,
4. Dude, Revenge of the Sith's fucking great film. It's fucking good to watch.
From my point of view, the Jedi are the bad guys.
But you know what? But you know what, dude? The fucking goddamn fight scene between Obi-Wan and fucking Anakin was fucking awesome.
If you could just turn
Right.
off the
fucking-
sound,
the fucking,
it would be great.
In the very beginning, the fucking ship-to-ship combat with those fucking was
It has the
fucking
best opening
cool,
in
man.
any Star Wars film.
Yeah.
I give you all that, but
you know what?
every bit of that cool is
We're-
undone
we're-
when he speaks.
I gotta be honest, we're regressing back into older episodes right now by discussing this.
It doesn't
again.
matter. It's a Star Wars episode,
Yeah,
though.
it's
So here
true.
we are. But for me, one thing that's happened because of Last Jedi is Force Awakens is a worse movie for me now.
Really?
Because it's literally like watching. I still love Aliens.
It is kind of a big fuck you to
Aliens is
everything
awesome.
they did.
No, wait. I still love Aliens, but I'm not as invested in Newt's story, knowing that she fucking dies
yeah,
at the very beginning of the next movie.
it's set up to nothing. So.
Yeah, so it's like it's still a fucking great movie in its own right, but as part of a larger tale.
I wasn't invested in Newt. I didn't give a shit about her. I could have
Okay,
done without
then
her.
Hicks, how's that?
Ooh, so good.
Yeah, exactly. So, but now you're like, this motherfucker is gonna fight his way through this whole movie.
Earn that
Blast with
ending.
acid.
It's sort of like when I got done with Alien Covenant, and I'm all this like Prometheus was not the greatest movie ever, but you just ruined that movie for me now too.
Exactly.
Because you
Yeah.
just killed off the character that I watched survive that whole movie.
Right.
And it's like Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Like we got the Dream Warriors, fantastic movie, and killed everybody off at the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Like there's something about if you're telling a larger story and you fuck over a previous tale, like it makes that have less value to me.
Hostel 2 did that.
So wait, what messes up 7
what,
for
the
you?
beginning?
7, all of the mystery around Rey's parentage is nothing.
Oh.
Like
Snoke.
it's nothing.
I love it because it just makes the fucking fanboys just squirm.
Right.
They're like, how dare you, sir? I had a theory, and I was so prepared to fucking put that out. Like, the next day, I was going to go, nanner, nanner, knitter.
Told you so.
Yeah, like...
But for me, now, episode 7, like it's sort of in a neck and neck tie now with episode 2. So it's like, I just, there's no... The stakes for me in that movie got lowered, you know, because I'm like...
But Han Solo, dude.
I mean, I like Han Solo, but, you know, it's just I'm with Steve. Like, at a certain point, the first hour of that movie, I love the shit out of. I really do. Like, I love Han Solo. I love the scene with the Rathgars on the ship. I love all of that. But the end of that movie is, like, we literally made a whole fucking movie about them grabbing the plans for the first Death Star. And in that movie, Han Solo literally goes, well, there's got to be a way to blow it up. There always is.
Yeah.
Something they didn't know about like a fucking hour before then. And he's like, yeah, we've got it. It's right here. Yeah. You know, like the stakes are just low for me in that movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, I hate the Star Killer base.
yeah. And to me, the redeeming quality of episode 2 is the last, like, basically 90 minutes. Like, I could rewatch the fucking clone army fighting against the robot army at the end, all the fucking Jedi in the arena. I love all of that, like, unabashedly. And I know Chris is like, you know,
like the Geodosians who they're...
I love it, dude. I love it.
And that freaking bird dinosaur thing.
That's from episode 3.
Was that 3?
Yeah, when
that's
Obi-Wan
right,
was
fucking-
riding.
Oh, yeah. I know you're thinking of the arena critters, though. Right?
Yeah, but the arena critters, you know.
No, I was thinking of episode 3, but
Right.
yeah, that freaking sequence.
But for me, it's like this movie falls back. So that makes episode 7 fall back. And then episode 1's my dead bottom with Return of the Jedi being above it. So
That, you know, I'm starting to rethink my hatred of episode 1 being more than episode 2, because there are some really nice moments in episode 1 before we get Anakin. But there's so much hokiness, man.
You know, you're
It's
the
just-
fucking reason that guy is in fucking therapy and
Good.
fucking jail today.
He should be a better
he was
fucking
a
actor.
little boy.
The little kid. You're
He's
talking
a
about
fucking little
Jake
boy,
Lloyd,
dude.
yeah.
Fuck Jake Lloyd.
Holy shit! This is the
Christ.
fucking
Roger Moore
guy,
did for,
dude.
oh, Jesus Christ.
He's still getting paid. I ain't getting paid.
All right.
Fuck him.
So with that in mind, guys, last segment. Where do you think the story is going? Because like that they like
Fuck, dude. I don't
I
even
know.
man.
I mean
See, that's why I wanted this movie. I wish they'd made episode 7 was kind of the bridge of the building of the First Order. The last movie was this movie, and this movie was the end of this new trilogy, basically saying this trilogy's over. We're going to have a brand new trilogy with whole new characters next time. It felt like the ending occurred in the middle.
of this
Wow.
trilogy.
Yeah.
I think this though, fucking our 3 heroes that we see now, Poe, Finn, and Rey. By the end of this saga, they're not all gonna
survive.
They're not all gonna make it. I think somebody's gonna go.
Although we've expanded our heroes, I would
I
say at
keep
this
thinking,
point.
honestly,
Yeah.
dude.
Rose
I keep
is now.
And she didn't die.
I keep thinking it's gonna be Finn. Actually, I'm not
They
seeing,
can't kill off Finn, dude.
Listen, I'm not seeing his place in this. I'm just not.
I don't disagree with you, actually. I think that I think Poe survives. I think Finn might bite the bullet in the next one. Shit, man, I think Rey might bite the bullet in the next one.
I could see that.
I think he's going to become a very powerful Jedi.
Yeah, but I think that you spent a whole movie talking about like essentially like anybody can be like this person essentially, and the proof is in the pudding. Is you kill her and Kylo at the end of the next one. If all of our big Force users are gone and the Force basically all the books are there and the Jedi can reset itself in a completely different way now, you know. I mean,
Because he caught the kid at the end, right?
right? You know, there's at least one more out there. He's good at brooming, apparently. You know,
Right.
so that's
Pew pew.
And once again, you have this slave boy staring at the stars.
right. Which I like that moment. Like that's a moment
Actually,
I like.
I missed the part with the broom. The wife had to tell me.
Oh, you
after.
didn't catch it?
I didn't catch it.
It was
I
pretty
just-
subtle.
It was subtle.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
subtle. You know, and I like the fact that like the story of Luke Skywalker. And you're right. Luke Skywalker is the flame that will light the rebellion. Like that's the truth. Like all Poe and all them, they're not the flame. Luke sacrificing himself in front of, you know, Kylo is what
By himself.
Is what the kids are talking about. They're like Luke Skywalker, Durka Durka.
But how
you
did
know?
they find out about that?
But we have to assume time has passed, and like this tale, like
But who told that tale?
the Jedi, the
There
12
were-
people on the ship,
There were survivors
the survivors on the ship.
on the Millennium Falcon.
Are
You don't think stormtroopers talk?
Dude, we've got live stream now. Maybe they Facebook that shit.
Oh, dude, somebody had it on FaceTime.
They did. They FaceTimed that shit.
They're like, look, I got intergalactic Snapchat.
As I say, I don't see the First Order being like bragging about.
Well, of course not the First Order.
But then I also don't see the 12 other people having the opportunity to go out and spread.
What do you mean? They're on a spaceship.
Why not just dump it onto the space interwebs and then
Right?
there it is.
Oh, is it like Reddit? Like
Space YouTube is out. Space 4chan is out there. You just drop it into the world. Or
4chan.
Reddit. Steve.
Son of a bitch. Fucking.
All right. So are we getting a Return of the Jedi in the next episode? Is there going to be a giant space battle finally in one of these
Yes.
movies? So we can call it Star Wars for real, as opposed to Speed 3, Space.
I think that was the coolest part of this movie.
Really? That was the coolest part?
they amped it up, it would have been great.
I think the fucking
That they were
throne
running
room,
out of gas was
I
the best
think-
part of the movie.
I think the throne room sequence was the fucking best part of
That
the
was
movie.
pretty good.
Followed by the ship going into hyperspace, which would have been the second best part of this movie. Followed by Poe being
How
the
about
best fucking starfighter on the planet.
plot device
No,
of this movie?
you're wrong. You're welcome to admit you're
You
wrong.
think we'll
opinion.
see Benicio del Toro's character come back?
I think
Oh, you
we
mean
should.
Mumbling Han?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was to me.
You know what?
I would like to see him
And
again.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm really glad that they didn't bring back fucking Londo for that. Londo would not go ahead and fucking sell out the princess, dude.
No,
No fucking way.
She might have.
not even the
I
old
don't
princess.
think so, dude.
He might have. You never know.
If they
I-
thought she was already dead when they blew up the first blast.
Lando would say, "The older the merry, the sweeter the juice." You know.
Hello.
All right, let's wrap it up right there. This has been our last Jedi special. We hope you guys have enjoyed this. This will be our last podcast of the year as well.
Yes. So everybody, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
And we just missed Hanukkah because the menorah decoration around the corner from me is not lit anymore. So for the many Jews that I'm sure listen to us, happy Chanukah to you.
Shalom.
Shalom, Shabbat, as it were. You know?
Yes.
But yeah, man, and we hope you guys have a happy New Year. We are going. We've talked a little bit about our format going into the new year, and I think we're going to try to focus a little more on individual things going into the new year. So like we've got a lot of good movies coming up. We got Deadpool coming up. We've got Avengers coming up.
When is Deadpool?
Deadpool is
Sicario
March.
2.
Really?
Dude, I'm excited about that, dude. Right?
We're gonna have a bro night for that one.
I'm in, dude.
Fuck
Yeah, I
yeah.
fucking love that first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of nerd movies coming out. We got Black Panther coming out in just like 2 months, you know. So we'll try to do a few more individual specials. Steve and all of us agree that that's sort of like one thing we want to do. And then I know some of you have said you'd like to like some of our side stuff. It's like dumb shit our kids did and the second chance movies we've gotten away from a little bit as well. We'll try and work some more of that stuff in
I
as
also
well.
have a story for you guys about my balls from when I was about 21, 22 years old. You'll love it.
Oh, I have a story about Ronald Andrew throwing up for the first time that you guys are going to fucking love. So
Awesome.
Yeah, so that'll all be up on our 2018 podcast. And Mike, welcome to the podcast officially
you.
again.
Yes, welcome.
So you guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Once again, I am Blue-Tittied Milk.
Salt.
Kylo Ren's rubbery nipple.
I'm a Red Velvet Cake. I'm sorry, Red Velvet Cake Planet.
And we hope you guys are having a nerd life crisis. Music for the Nerd Life Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerd Life Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerd Life Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerd Life Crisis.